Hey guys, it's Shannon, and today I'm going to be talking to you about a heavy subject. So I'm not going to beat around the bush and try to make a bunch of jokes or whatever. I'm going to be talking about the opioid epidemic and basically what looks like a lot of propaganda coming out of the CDC. And that's hard for me to say because I really respect the CDC on the research they do and information they put out, factual information. But recently they have been putting up a bunch of ads on YouTube, and they have information in them that are spun in such a way that are just completely untrue. And the fact that they're putting out information that is inaccurate only serves to hurt the position of helping people who are addicted to opioids in the long run. So I'm going to show you some parts of a couple CDC ads that they have put out, one in particular, and then a piece from another, and then I'll go over that, as well as the situation that's happening for people who are chronic pain patients in this country, how they're being treated versus how, junkies on the street are being treated. And I want to preface this by saying I have done a video already about addiction and the fact that addiction, there is personal responsibility in that. And I haven't changed my position on that whatsoever, but it's more nuanced. So it's not just black and white here. So with that, let's get started. So the particular videos we are going over are that were put out by the CDC are in an 11-part, it looks like, series of ads that they put out called RX Awareness. And they have different people telling their own stories with addiction, or how it affected them or people in their family. And we're going to start off with one called Devin's RX Story. So let's take a look.
The first time I ever took prescription opioids is when I got my wisdom teeth taken out. I think I was 16 years old. I must have gotten a 30-day script. I took them all in 3 days.
And you will find that as Devin speaks, this one specific section, they cut 4 times. And so he says, I got opioids for the first time when I was 16, when I got my wisdom teeth out. Cut. I must have gotten a 30-day script. Cut. I took them all in 3 days. Cut. And that boggles my mind, and I want to explain why. There are a few different things very wrong with this guy's statement. First off, he says and I want to preface, I know this isn't what the guy probably was saying to the people interviewing him, but they have edited it in such a way that it sounds really bad. It sounds like he got his wisdom teeth out, they gave him a butt fuck ton of pills, and he took them all in 3 days for the first time of ever having opioids. So I did a little research, and I called a couple dentists' office in my area, and I asked them, well, first off, I told them what was said in the video, and they laughed. One particular receptionist said, "Are you serious?" But I asked her, what is generally given? And I realized, he's a little older. It was probably years ago, and so I asked about that too. They said at most they will give 5 days worth of opioids to be taken every 6 hours. And so that is the max they will give, and that's if they do oral surgery, if they have to cut to get this stuff out, not just an extraction. So let's just say that he needed 4 pills a day for 5 days. That's 20 pills, right? I want to show you what a 30-day supply of opioids looks like. A 30-day supply of pills taken every 6 hours looks like this. It would be 120 pills. Full disclosure, these are not painkillers. They are a magnesium and calcium supplement that I take for my breastfeeding. So, if he were to get a 30-day supply for having his wisdom teeth taken out and taken them in all 3 days, which, by the way, they had that cut before he said, I took them all in about 3 days. So we don't know how many he actually said he took. You know, he could have said, oh, I got 20 for my wisdom teeth removal and I took them all in 3 days. That would be much, much more, that would be much more believable. But instead, they cut it in such a way that it made him say he got a 30-day supply, 120 pills, and took them all in 3 days. That would average 40 pills a day. There is no way that someone who has never taken an opioid in their life could take 40 pills a day and survive. Now, I'm not ragging on the CDC for wanting to get the dangers of opioids out there, because there is a danger there. But if they're putting out information that is so obviously false, it is just going to make people go the other way. So, if you want to see the rest of that ad, the description will be, the link will be in the description of this video. It's a 30-second ad. We got most of the meat that we needed out of there. So, the next one we're going to just take a snippet of to show another just factually impossible thing is going to be called Anne Marie's RX awareness story. So, let's go ahead and take a little look at that one.
My son, Christopher Parado, was 20 years old when he was prescribed opioids. It took him 5 days to get addicted.
Okay, so she claims that her 20-year-old son, who, if you watch the rest of the ad, you will find that he passed away from his addiction. So that's sad. But she claims that it took 5 days to become addicted to opioids. And so I decided to, again, do a little research, and I asked my doctor about it. And he had an actual quote for me. Hang on, let me see if I can find it. Oh, yes, here it is. Bullshit. It's a blank sheet of paper. I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with me. No, but in all seriousness, I did ask my doctor about it, and he legitimately did say, that's bullshit. That is not possible. Someone is not going to get addicted, at least physically, to a substance in 5 days. It's not possible. They may really enjoy that high and decide they want it again, but there is no physical dependence in that amount of time. It is not possible. So again, if you'd like to see the rest of that video from the CDC, it will be in the description, as well as a link to their whole series. I only wanted to touch on those two, but there's plenty of more bullshit in there, but we got other stuff to talk about. Okay, so I just realized this video is much larger than I thought it was going to be, so I'm going to cut it here, and look out for part 2 here very shortly after. In fact, I'll probably put these up at the same time. So, in the meantime, if you like what I do, please consider becoming a patron, or I have PayPal, or, Amazon, whatever. I don't really care. I just know this subject, this video, will not be monetized. It just won't. There's no way it's not going to happen. So, if you want to help support what I do, you know, think about those options. If not, that's cool too. All right. Look out for part 2, guys. Bye.